Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today is the second arrowverse recap in the new building, but it is, in fact, the 12th one in general of Season 3. Can you believe I did this? I started this thing 2 years ago, and only Arrow is ending next week. I can't think about how hard it is, man. I started watching them live 3 years ago, and now I can't because I don't have satellite anymore at this place. But either way, today is another Arrowverse recap. Like I said a long time ago, I'm still going to be called Arrowverse recap because the Arrow started it off, and now that it's ending, it's still called the Arrowverse. But either way, let's get right down into it. So, today, we have Batwoman episode 10, Supergirl episode 10, Green Arrows episode 9, and Legends episode 1. So, without further ado, let's get right down into the recap. So, Batwoman episode 10, otherwise entitled, How Queer Is Everything Today? Threat is Hacker, or her name is Parker, and I think it's called the Retriever or the Blood, some sort of hound is what she hacked it as. And Alice. Missions. Alice's mission is to get Kate to stop heroing. Kate's mission is stop the hacker, and Mary's mission is get Dad out of jail. So the episode starts off with an out of control train. And Batwoman stops it. A man saves Kate and has been saving Kate a lot. And his name's Sam Bradley. Her birthday is 2 days away, or AKA 2 days away. Yeah. Then the news reporter person has the death of Arrow. It talks about the death of Arrow. Jacob is on trial for murder. And then there's a dog video threat like, if you pay me $500 million or something like that. Mouse and Alice has a tea party, and Mouse is like, you can't stop her as long as she still's got the mask. And then there's like a little mayor speech about something. I don't really remember, but it's a speech about something. Batcave has turned off. No firewall. Jacob is trapped with people he put away. Mary is trying to help Jacob. Crows are on the scene because they tracked the video call. No, they didn't track the video call. They tracked where that thing could be made. They tracked where the video was made, but it was rerouted to another place. And then the crows were there. Kate talks to Sophie so Sophie was there, and Sophie is broken up with. Mary tries to get help from a pro. Then we get a little crisis recap. The hacker is a she. Her name's Parker. And Mary talks to Sophie. Alice is at the university because she went to the university to get the pro. Alice is at the university. Kate crashes a party because then they figured they traced it to a party, and so she crashed in. Then they decoded. Then they went back to know that it's a she, and then she was like, "I know those beeps. That's building." And that's the school she went to. Hacker was on the train, controlling it, and she was like, if my parents would have known how hurt I would have gotten, they would have shipped me out of town. So that's why she needed the money so she could leave town by herself. And then Crow are at the university. They break in a door, and then there's no guy. Alice wasn't there, but Alice is at the party, and so you think, oh, Alice, that was actually Alice, and now Alice is at the party. But then Alice is meeting the hacker. Sophie went to Mary's clinic. So then now Peter is getting Peter, I don't know. But then she's getting interrogated with the chainsaw. And it's like, stop, take off the mask. If you take off the mask, I'll stop. And then so Kate takes off the mask. And then there's also C4s at the party. So Alice needs the hacker to have an outage of Batwoman. But then they do it, then Parker runs away. And so then Alice and Kate talk, but then it was not an outing, it was a call for help! And yeah. And then a whole lot of other stuff happens. Kate and Mary hug it out, and then Kate goes back to Wayne Enterprises and sees Beth there, and she's like, "Who the heck are you?" Yeah, and tries to pull off the mask. Now, quote, it was from Luke, saying, "Kicking bad guys' asses to protect your city is pretty courageous to me," because she was losing her courageous, and she was the paragon of courage, and so, yeah. Now we're on to Supergirl episode 10, otherwise entitled The Bottle Episode. Now I was too concentrated, so now it's all mixed up. The threat is a Bad Brainy. I'll get into that. Missions. Bad Brainy is get Earth back. Lex is find the partner, and Kara, Brainy, Mia, and Alex is stop Bad Brainy. So there's a DEO ad, or LexCorp, or whatever this new DEO thing is called. Alex knows of Crisis. Everyone reminds literally. Okay, so if everyone will remember what Crisis was, then their minds will literally blow. That's what I was trying to get at. All heroes who helped in Crisis know. Yeah, and then there was like another Crisis recap. Lena tells Lex about Leviathan. Kara goes to Lena and is like, "Hey, I want to try to be friends with you." But then Mia and Brainy are like on a little date, and so he's like, 2 drinks, and then he's like, "Hey," and then so Brainy runs into Brainy, and then there's 2 Brainies that go back, and then there's another Brainy, and then there's a girl Brainy, and then there's a Brainy that's dying from an alternate future, and then it's saying, "Don't let him open the bottle." Yeah, and he died by the anti-life equation, and then there's a meeting. And then Alex and Kara get called to a meeting with Lex about Leviathan. And then there's an Obsidian meeting. And then there's a friend, Gemma, at the meeting. Brainy is supposedly Prime, and so then they go to Owl's bar, and then there's 2 owls. Like what? Witches of Rain are at the bar. Mama Luther knows about Crisis. Alex goes to John to talk about Crisis and how we need yeah. Girl Brainy goes into Lex's office. And Brainy's inhibitors, the 3 dots on his head, stop him from being big brain. And I didn't notice until a certain point in the episode that Gemma is Leviathan. Bad Brainy has a bottle. Yeah. And so if he opens up that bottle, he destroys both worlds. And then Brainy's like, oh crap, my mom tried to keep the snow all wrapped up into one thing, and then my mom went all crazy, and so my dad put these inhibitors so I didn't become a mother. So yeah, his dad planted in his inhibitors. Bad Brainy needs magic, so he goes to the 3 witches from another Earth. Then there was a bar, and then so Kara and Mia and Brainy go and fight Bad Brainy and the witches. So then there's a bar fight. Brainy takes off his inhibitors, and then he becomes big, and he becomes a comic accurate looking guy. And then after that fight, they have these things, and then they were like in life projectors, whatever, and so they put him on his suit, and so they go into the big brain. And then there was a whole thing. Lex goes to Lena, puts the truth seeker on him, and then he's like, God, I can tell the truth. And then William is at that meeting too, and he just trusts Lex. And then, Girl Brainy says, in order to stop Leviathan, you have to trust Lex. And so, at the end, Brainy goes to Lex, and then they need one more piece of the puzzle. And then the quote is Kara saying, the people that love you will always fight for you. I thought that was cool because I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so deep from Supergirl. I'm pretty sure now we're on to episode 9, or technically episode 0 of Green Arrow and the Canaries. The threat of this episode is Deathstroke / Trevor. Diana, Laura, and Mia is save Bianca. Laurel's mission is to protect the future, and Mia's mission is to come to term with her past. So the episode starts off with Laurel on a bike going to a party and trying to save Bianca Bertinelli. Bianca is taken. Star City 2040 is apparently the safest city. Mia is marrying JJ. Dinah owns a bar in 2020. Sarah dropped off Laurel in 2040 to Diana woke up in 2040. William is the best man to JJ, and Zoe is back. Connor is he's not like fully bad, but he's like, he had to come out of confinement or something. Trevor is an old friend of Mia, and he's like, so where's Bianca? Yeah. Mia remembers Laurel and Dinah go to the party, and then she has a ring on that Cisco made with John Jones's memories, and then tapped and grabs her arm and makes Mia remember everything, like from JJ being bad to Connor, and Zoe dying to Connor being there for her, and William, and all of Crisis and stuff. And so yeah, Mia goes to Bianca's parents. Dinah plants eyes. What? So they recap Mia, and so she's like, there's no way, I'll just go talk to her parents. And so she goes to talk to the parents while Diana plants the eyes and the ears. Laurel motivates Dinah to be a hero. So then they go, and the one of the people is on the move and is doing some shifty business, and so they drive. So they all get on their own bikes, and then they drive and follow the car. They stop the car. They stop the goons. Open up the thing. There's drugs, but then a Deathstroke comes out of nowhere and stops the girls. Sorry, that whole thing was on this entire time. Dinah and Laurel think that it's JJ, but Mia wants to disprove that, so they go and try to prove that JJ ain't Deathstroke. Laurel talks about her love life, and then they go to the computer. It errors, and then he's like, "This is our honeymoon, hon." And then so they just trust each other. JJ is innocent. Mia storms off and doesn't want to be there. Mia and JJ fight like, I was gonna do this whole thing for you. And yeah, JJ broke up with Mia. They found the trace of Bianca. Mia puts on the hood, and Laurel inspires her to put on the hood. Trevor is Deathstroke. Big bad for that show. Laurel thanks Dinah and Mia. Mia goes to apologize to JJ, so then now they love each other again. So Dinah's mission for this whole show is to figure out why she's in 2040, and Laurel's mission for the series is to figure out what happens in 2021 and why does it still go bad or something. And then and then William and Mia are at the memorial of his statue, and it's like, this is the rock that reconnecting. And then Trevor had a tattoo, and she was like, flashbacks, and then they get shot in the back of the head by someone. And so then William gets taken while she's just there to get her out. And then so now we cut to JJ sleeping, and then a dude is like, "Oh God, I need you," and has the magical ring. And so the quote for this episode is, Mia, Star City needs the Green Arrow. So I thought that was pretty cool because, like, hey, Star City does need the Green Arrow. Alright, second time recapping Legends. Episode 1.
This video gets 50,000 likes, we'll do this once a week. Okay.
I already do this once a week, so don't listen to that. Legends. Episode 1. Meet the Legends. And the time that we mostly spend our whole time in is 1917 in St. Petersburg. The Encore is what they are calling them. In the episode, they're like, what should we call them? Pre-baddies or something. They just have a bit where they just keep trying to name what these things are going to be called this time. And so they're called Encores. In the Encore is Rasputin. And the Legends. Legends are praised. So the Legends are praised for doing this whole Hey World thing. And so just throw Blind Wave there. Yeah. They did a really good job of keeping that a secret. And then it's like the guy comes down and I'm like, I'm Kevin. And this is Meet the Legends. It's like a film. It's a documentary. The crew's interviews. It's like, yeah, I'm Ava Sharp. I'm Nate Haywood. I'm Ray Palmer. But not until they get back. Congress shut down the Time Bureau. Mona is catfishing as Rebecca Sharp. And Gray Constantine parent, Gray is Constantine's apprentice, and he got that from Nora. Something's wrong with the temporal zone, and then there's a Gideon virus. Oh yeah, they came back and Sarah's like, "What the hell's going on here?" Yeah. There's a virus in Gideon, and then they go to the day of Rasputin's burial. In New York 2020, Constantine is on an unnatural case. Yeah, and so then they're like, "Are we sure you stayed dead?" And so then Sarah's all like depressed, mad, and me. And so Brad gives Sarah a pic of Laurel and Oliver and them all together. The heroes suit up because there's 3 different missions. Because Ray and Nate think that they need to stop him from getting his revenge. Mona thinks that he's just gonna give her him a love letter. And Mick and Ava are gonna kill Rasputin. So Ray and Nate get caught. It's like, "I'm here for an interview," and so Nate is interviewing Putin because Ray was already small. Mick, and then Ava's there, and it's like, "Nate, get out of the way," and then Ray is like, "I got you, bud," and then grows inside the gun a little bit, and then Mona is there with the note. And Mick takes it and starts reading it, and it's like, "You're really good at this." Putin bribes Nate with love for Nate's love. It's like, "I can hypnotize you to see who your lover was," and something like that. Constantine, with this demon, Astra released Putin, and much more serious sinners. Constantine warns Sarah about the things. Yeah, and so okay, and then we go to Putin hypnotizes Nate, and he's like, "What do you see?" "I see you're eating a bunch of donuts." And so, and then Ava gets to a better position, shoots Putin, and then Putin just pulls it out, and so Putin has powers. Nate remembers Zari, but not in her name. Then there's little teen talk. They all come in and like, "You guys just got yourself killed. I already lost one friend this week." And so, little crisis recap. Interviews of Grief on a little stretcher thing. And then he's like, "Gideon's memories are mixed with another timeline." And so, yeah. And so then he runs over to... No. Yes. Putin kidnaps Kevin the director, and so Putin is still there with the thing, and then Sarah's like, "You and I are the only people. We need to get it now. The other people are too caught up in this film. Now we are the only ones that can go there and stop it." Putin plans to kill the Romanovs with tea cakes, with poison. And then they're there, and then Brad gets hypnotized, and then the Legends have been watching this, and so they're like, it's time, let's go join the fight. Putin can hypnotize people and make them fight for him. So then Ava apologizes to Sarah. Legends get hypnotized, and then so Legends are fighting Sarah and Ava, and then Sarah throws Ray into Putin, and so then he megasizes and kills Putin. Legends did what Ant-Man couldn't. Then there's Meet the Legends panel. The team say it was all fake. And then everyone boos him and ruins Kevin's film. And so there's no more money problem. So apparently there was a money problem, but they stole an egg thing that cost like $50 million or something. Constantine goes back to hell. Mick hands over his books to Mia for Mona to write. Zari, and then Nate sees Zari's message from last year. And then now the quote is Brahad saying, "Spotlight does weird things to people." And I'm like, that is the most true statement, and I feel like, okay, so my thoughts on Brahad, it feels like he's been here from the beginning. He fit so perfectly, but oh my gosh, and Mona leaves the show to get more. I just hope Mona is gone. I fucking hated Mona. Mona was so cringe, dude. And she made every single mission worse. I swear, dude. I don't want Mona on this show. On Legends tomorrow. But anyway. Alright, guys. Hope you guys liked this episode. If you guys did, please have a big like down below. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe. I don't even know why I do my regular outro on these, because no one watches these. The only person that watches these are me when I need a little recap in my life. So yeah, doodles.